Welcome to the Vision and Purpose podcast, where we dive deep into the lives of incredible people who have made a mark on the world. Join us as we explore the journeys, stories, and passions of individuals who have achieved extraordinary feats, shattered barriers, and inspired us all. And now your host, Dr. Sharon H. Porter. Welcome to Vision and Purpose Podcast. I am your host, Dr. Sharon H. Porter, and I am truly excited to welcome my guest. He is an award-winning author, an entrepreneur, a philanthropist. He is Mr. Maryland United. So excited to welcome to the show, Mr. Jonathan C. Harris. Welcome.
Hello, everybody. So grateful to be here.
So excited to have you. You are on a mission. That's all I know. So I can't wait to dive in to really, just unpack everything that you're doing. Such phenomenal work. I didn't mention that you're also the founder of the Millions Path Foundation, a nonprofit that you have just taken this community by storm. So I want us to start there because your vision to serve is really what resonates with me so much. And I know that it just didn't start as an adult, that this actually started for you as a young child. So please take us from the beginning of this really notion to be a servant leader.
Sure. I think, and first and foremost, as always, just thank you for this opportunity and grateful to everyone who is going to see and hear this. For me, service has just been embedded in my childhood. I think back to having, really involved parents in the community and involved grandfather who just always led by example in that regard, but even taking it a step further, having amazing educators and mentors, neighbors, and just different people that I saw growing up, really just doing, right? The thing that I loved is that leadership for me isn't about title. It's about impact and need. It's not about I can only help if I'm at the head of the line. I can only help if I have $1 million. I can only help if my title is director. But more so, you just see something that needs to be done and you just do it. So that really is my motto. Believe it or not, I've been doing nonprofit work before I knew that the term nonprofit existed. Just being a kid who just wanted to help and now turning into an adult who wants to be intentional about how I help and how I use my platform and my gifts and resources to be able to do so.
I really love it because what is so impactful is we're just off the heels of the 2023 holiday season. And through your foundation, you really, I saw you giving things away to students. I saw you in the community, whether it was toys, food, just so many things. And I want you to take our viewers through this process because you started out, if I'm not mistaken, you went to every school that you attended, which is amazing, and such a wonderful give back. So talk us through that process. What happened? How did it get started? Who did you pull in to help you? Because we know we can't do the work alone. And so you even had you rallied together and got individuals to gift wrap gifts, just so much. So please take us through that whole process.
Oh, goodness. So I always, anytime I am at a place and then I leave the place, I always think about how we can stay connected. And so growing up in Fort Washington, Maryland, which is known as part of Prince George's County, I am such a proud Prince George's County resident, regardless of where I've lived or where I've traveled. I always tell people Prince George's County made me the person that I am today. When I think about the foundation of who Jonathan Harris is, a lot of my life lessons I learned here. And I always wanted to be someone who stayed connected. So when I graduated from high school, I always thought about what were some intentional ways that I could stay connected. And I thought having a project or some type of program where I could give back to a high school would be super, super cool. With this specific initiative, which is called a Friendly Holiday, the name of Friendly Holiday comes from the fact that the original partnership was starting out with Friendly High School, where I was my class valedictorian. I also pulled from some experiences in my own personal life. So my father, who grew up one of six children, didn't always get gifts for Christmas due to finances. As you know, times are hard, but as we go back through history, times have been really hard in other decades as well. And my dad went through different seasons where, due to the family finances, his mom was not able to do. And, I couldn't imagine being 10 years old and, you're looking around a tree and there's nothing with your name on it. Not necessarily just because you wanted something specific, but almost to the fact that you might feel unseen or forgotten about. So that was really the start of the Friendly Holiday Initiative, is wanting to be intentional with giving back. But also for me, I love accessibility programs. I know that that is an area of passion for me. It's always broken my heart when kids are not able to participate in something due to finances. I was the kid. I did every honor society that existed at that school. I did the band. I did student government. The list goes on and on. Even was able to travel to Spain through my Spanish teacher, Miss Owens. All of those things came with money, right? To join an honor society, you pay a membership fee. To be a part of a band, you need an instrument. And because I came from a family who had access, that was never an issue for me. There are kids who have the talent, the desire, and the availability, but their family doesn't come from the money. So they can't play on the football team. They can't play the trumpet. They can't sign up for dance. And when I think about the life that I went on to live, a lot of the job interviews that I was able to get and then opportunities I got, different things that I, went on to do came from those experiences. So then the question becomes, what happens to the kids who don't get those experiences? The kids who never get to experience the fine dining, the kids who never get to go on the trips, the kids who never get those extracurricular experiences. And that was really just where my heart was kind of evening the playing field, even just a little bit. And I wanted to do that through Christmas. I saw it differently. Some people see it as just Christmas Day. What about when everybody comes back to school for January and people are having the conversation of, how was your holiday break? What did you get? And there's that kid who can't connect with the conversation because their family had no gift for them. That's an access issue, which can lead to other things like bullying, which can lead to self-worth, self-esteem. So it's, to me, it's so much more than just the gifts. It's about making sure that they feel a part of a community.
I love it. I really do. It really speaks to how when you come together with an idea and execute it, how well it can go over. Because like you said, you don't need $1 million to help. You do not. And especially if you have that gift of bringing people together. And I think that you have been gifted with that. Rallying the troops, right? For the better good of the community. And I think it's superb. And not only do you do your philanthropy work through your nonprofit, but you're an award-winning author, right? 3 books that you have written, and I know you're getting ready to do some more things with that. I'm really excited about that. Let's switch over and talk about your books, because one thing, when I talk to individuals that are layered, I never want to just talk about one thing.
Right.
We need to talk about all the goodness that you provide. So can you share a little bit about your books?
Sure. I love being an author so much. In fact, all of my social media user handles are author John, because it's just so cool. Being a Black man and writing a book means so much to me from a historical context. If you go back into history, there was a period of time where our ancestors were beaten, killed for trying to learn how to read and write. And I'm sorry to take the conversation in such a grim direction, but again, being a person of color, more specifically, a Black man writing, this was not always a lane that was available to us. So to now fast forwarding to 2024 and to say, okay, you have 3 books published with more on the way. You've received awards for your books. You get to go into schools, whether you're a part of a panel, you're the keynote, you're facilitating a workshop, or just some space where you get to promote your platform. it's so cool to me because this wasn't always accessible to us. And I love it. I love being able to encourage people to make good decisions. All of my books are self help books. The first one, Master of Ceremonies, is for teenage males. But my two children's books, Growing Gents and Girls with Pearls, are self help books for kids. So they allow kids to learn at a young age life skills, things like helpfulness around the house, sharing, punctuality, kindness, um, politeness, all of those different skills. So it's been so much fun. I love going into the kindergarten classes and reading to the kids. I also love with my first book going in and talking to the older kids about what a healthy relationship is, both romantically, business, friendship, and just being able to provide life skills. So all of my books honestly are resources. They're resources for parents, for teachers, for guardians, for mentors, for people who want to pour into kids more, but maybe don't necessarily always know how. I consider myself to be a supplement to what it is that they're looking to do. So I absolutely love my author experience. I can't wait to put out some more books.
We can't wait to see it. And you mentioned black males, and I must say my congratulations to you for now being a part of the 100 Black Men of Prince George's County.
Thank you.
That is an amazing organization, first of all, and the work that you're doing aligns right with their mission and their vision. So, can you talk a little bit about all of your participation in activities that you've now landed in as a member of 100 Black Men of Prince George's County?
Absolutely. And I want to start with an exclusive update that I have not even posted on social media. So you get the very first scoop outside of my family who I told in person. I recently got a promotion to now being the new co-chair of the book club initiative for 100 Black Men. So I'm super excited that within pretty much 1 month's time of being a member, that the leadership has already seen something in me that they want more opportunity for me, but also they trust what I can bring to the organization. So that is such a high honor. But yeah, 100 Black Men is a community organization that focuses on mentoring. We do a lot of work in the areas of teaching students about leadership, health and wellness, mentorship, economic empowerment, and just all things good. So it's super great because when it comes to mentorship, mentorship is really a team sport. When one person's working on something, that's wonderful. But as you yourself said, when you are able to rally people together, you get a phenomenal product. So it's so cool to do something, and there are 20 other guys also passionate about mentoring, also passionate about the community right there beside me. And this chapter, specifically the Prince George's County chapter, is about 12 years old at this point. So we are, even though we've done so much, so many new things are on the horizon. We are in the process of building out a brand new Saturday Leadership Academy for the southern part of Prince George's County because we identified that there were a population of students in the southern part of the county that could still use some additional support. Again, we talked about access. Programs are great, but if mom can't drive you there, if this is not on a bus line or a train station or dad can't take you or something like that, you may not be able to participate. So I love just the progression of the organization. They're always open to new ideas. That was something that they told all of the new members. There were 20 of us who were inducted, and they said, this is not an organization where you need to wait on an invitation to serve. If you have ideas, let us know. If there's a committee you want to get a part of, go. Like, no one in this organization is holding you back from using your gifts. So I feel right at home. I love my brothers. It's nice to be a part of a brotherhood, and everyone's just so encouraging. We have a group chat where we can share family updates. We went to the gym today. Somebody's getting an award, and it's just so much love, always love. So I'm really enjoying my 100 Black Men experience.
I love it. And congratulations again. And so that is right along. And the thing about it is what people don't understand, all of the things that you're probably doing and will do, you've done it, by yourself, but collectively
Right.
Just think of so many more people that you can touch, right? With the help of a group. And so that's where I see the advantage of you in the work that you're doing, because now you can multiply the impact
Absolutely.
that you're doing. So congratulations on that.
Thank
And so
you.
we've talked about the Millions Path Foundation. We've talked about the authoring. We've talked about the 100 Black Men of Prince George's County. But we are still not finished. You have a vending company, B&H Vending. And this is something that you and a relative came together to do this. First of all, we've shared over and over again that there has to be multiple streams of income. We should not and cannot rely on one source of income. So I love the fact that you are venturing out, doing multiple things, and also ready to encourage our young people to do the same.
Oh,
Please
yes.
tell us about B&H Vending.
Yes. And again, speaking of exclusive scoops, we just did some filming today, and it'll be out soon. But my cousin, who is also my business partner, Kenny, we are launching in 2024 a B&H Scholars Program. So I'm so excited. And that's a twofold. We're going to actually do scholarships, but we are also doing youth education. The honest to goodness truth is that our youth need all the love, support, attention, and resources that they can get from every single angle. So we acknowledge that every kid may not necessarily identify vending as a future career path. And honestly, we didn't either. But since we were little kids, my cousin and I have always just valued growth. We've always valued giving back. We're both from Prince George's County. And since we were little kids, we always said, like, when we get older, we're going to do something to pour back. Funny enough, we thought we were going to do a summer camp. But just being intentional about being visible in our community. So we want to teach students the technical part of vending, but also we want to teach them that ethical responsibility, making sure that you're doing right by your customers, making sure that you are doing right by your partners and each other, and making sure that you're communicating. When you do business, there's a certain set of skills you need to possess. But when you do business with a partner, it's a heightened level of responsibility and communication because I have to run things by him as he does by me. It's a true partnership. So we want to teach students from a young age about the essence of teamwork and using my cousin and I as the example. In all the years we've worked together, but also throughout the course of our life, we've never even had like a major argument or a dispute or anything because we've always been intentional about putting the relationship first, never chasing the money or the clout or those different things that sometimes do break teams up. So those are some of the lessons that we want to really teach kids about, and I'm just excited to expand it. I want B&H Vending, even though it's based out of Prince George's County, I want it to have a global effect. We've already serviced clients in California. We've worked with people in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, parts of Virginia, parts of Washington, D.C. So we're not settling for just staying rooted in this area. We want this to be a huge phenomena to the point where you won't even be able to turn on your TV and see something vending related and you don't think of B&H vending.
That's the vision. That's called vision, right? And I love that because that's the one thing that we always like to pull out of our guests on Vision and Purpose podcast, because everything starts with the vision. You have to have what you see before you don't see it, right? You have to see it, vision it. And so I'm really excited to hear about that. So now we got the vision now. Let's now talk about the purpose. What do you see as the purpose of your work? And you're in many different lanes. What do you see as your purpose?
I really love that question because, every what should have a why. And I would say that my why is a couple things. I think the big thing is I want people to know it's possible. I tell people all the time, I'm a regular degular person. People laugh when I say they're like, you are not regular degular. Um, I'll be honest, in my spare time, happiness to me is getting a $7 smoothie from Tropical Smoothie Cafe. I'm not like a caviar guy or, I need to travel on a yacht or anything like that. I really love the simple life. For me, I want people to see that it's possible. What your goals are possible. You may not be able to see it from the video, or if you look at pictures that are more recent. I used to be almost 350 pounds for those that may not be aware. And just with hope, I was able to lose it, but also with commitment and discipline too. I had a vision for my life. But I would say that purpose is just letting people know that you can do it. I want our community to feel like somebody cares about them. I've always wanted to just be intentional. That's a really big word for me, is intentional. I want kids to have positive influences. It's so easy to turn on TV. It's so easy to get on your phone and they see people who are not representing themselves in the best way. They don't always have that at home. I know that from a 10-year stint working in higher education. I had students who would tell me, they said, Mr. Harris, you are the only like adult male I know who seems to have their head on straight, because everybody I know is still running the streets, still getting their lives together. Like, you represent hope for me. And that's the one thing I've always been told by people is they say, once I meet you and I talk to you, it feels a little bit more realistic. I remember one day I was doing a walk and I was on the phone with, I call her, she's like my unofficial mayor because she's so well connected around the city. But she said, after watching you lose weight, it just felt more manageable, because you go on TV and you see these before and after pictures, but you don't know the person. So you just feel like, well, we don't know what they did behind the scenes. But she said, I know you. I watched you just do it. You committed, you were able to stay disciplined, you sacrificed, you did what you needed to do. So I would say my purpose is showing the everyday person that they are just as capable as the people they see on TV, the people they see on the radio, the people they see in the magazines, and the people they see on the websites. That's really the big purpose for me, is that it's possible. My goal is to go on to be a millionaire by the age of 40 years old. And I want people to see I didn't come from a family of millionaires. My mentor is not a millionaire, or, certain things. I'm going to build it from the ground up. I'm going to build it with consistency, commitment, doing right by people, and most importantly, just keeping the community at the forefront of my why. But I want everyone to know that they could do the same if they wanted to.
Thank you for that. Now, did you choose, how everyone for the last few years have chosen a word for the year? I don't know if you've done that, but if you have, can you share what your word for the year is? And if you haven't, what would it be?
I love that question because I started doing that, believe it or not, I want to say 2020. So my word for 2024 is intentional. And it is going to be infused in everything that I do. In fact, my goals this year look completely different than they have ever looked before. In the past, my goals have always been kind of completion oriented, such as like, oh, do this thing. And then if you did it, you would check it off. This year, my goals are all system based. So making sure my procedures are up to date, making sure that I'm committing more time to practicing my speaking and my writing. So just again, being intentional about where I'm spending my time, who I'm spending my time with, because success is a byproduct of all of those other things. So my word this year is intentional.
I love it. Intentional. I love it. I love it. So what do you have coming up? I know that I did see the Millions Pass Foundation. You actually have a suicide prevention certification, I think that's coming up. So anything else that's coming up that our viewers need to know about?
I am so excited. Yes, I have two. I have two suicide prevention workshops coming up. One is in partnership with a good friend, Jermaine, who is the CEO of Reality Check Mentoring. We're doing it together for young men because we want to be intentional about getting our young, especially our young Black men, more aware of the importance of mental health. I don't know if you all know, but men actually take their lives at almost 4 times the rate that women do. So we really want to have an intentional conversation with our young men. Along those lines, I'm going to be the guest speaker at the Arise conference in Columbia, Maryland. So I'm doing an entire suicide prevention training for an entire conference. So this is going to be my biggest training to date because we're talking hundreds of men. So I'm really excited to just expand my portfolio there. I'll be reading at Chick-fil-A soon at not only one, but 2 Chick-fil-A locations. So I'm extremely grateful for my Chick-fil-A partnership, as well as returning to Tropical Smoothie Cafe. That was a really great opportunity from 2023. This year, I know that at least one book will be released, but by the end of the year, 4 more books may be dropped. If not, stay tuned for 2025. So yeah, just super excited in all areas. I'm seeing just movement. I'm so grateful for just the support that everyone's been giving.
Absolutely. I love it. And then, of course, finally, where people can reach out to you, where can they connect with you, and where can they keep up with all of the wonderful things that you have going on?
I invite everyone to visit my social media, Author John, which is AuthorJon. And that is on all social media platforms. So we're talking Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Snapchat, Pinterest, LinkedIn, PlayStation Network, all like literally across the board, Author John. That's so cool that no one has taken it. So always happy to engage. I've had a chance to meet people from all over. Yesterday just did a library thread challenge on Twitter and met a whole bunch of new library friends that also love reading and going to the library. So I always love meeting people. Please feel free to visit my website and just say hello. Or if you're looking for a speaker for something, my website is www.authorjohn.com. So on there, you can find more information about me. You can find information about the books, upcoming appearances and just different things that I'm working on. But more importantly, let's figure out how we can collaborate. I'm really big on partnerships. I love the thought of 2 entities or multiple entities coming together to create a beautiful project. So I'm always available and I'm always happy to, take us to the next level.
I love it. Mr. Harris, it has been a pleasure as it is always to be in your presence. So I truly, truly, truly thank you for being my guest today.
As always, thank you so much. As I always tell you, you are one of my favorite people that I just have so much love for, but more importantly, I have so much respect for. You just, again, just such a positive person who's very progressive, and I very much try to be the same. So thank you. I want to give a quick thank you to just everyone who has supported. I know at the start of the conversation, we talked a lot about the Million Pass Foundation. I just wanted to give a special thank you to a lot of the people who really supported this last year. Like you said, we had gift wrappers, we had donors, different things. Even, my goodness, Sunny from WHUR 96.3 FM, my dad who has donated every single year since the start of the initiative. So I just want to really say thank you. I think behind the scenes, there are not even I think, but I know behind the scenes of anything that you see, there is a team of people praying, paying, supporting, helping, driving, doing, and all of those different things that allow something to happen. So I'm just grateful to all of you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And guys, thank you to all my viewers and listeners. We thank you for joining us on this journey to explore the depths of our guest vision and purpose. And as we wrap up today's episode, remember that your vision is the compass guiding you through life, and your purpose is the fuel that propels you forward. Embrace the clarity of your vision and let it illuminate the path to a purpose-driven life. Keep dreaming, keep believing, and keep pursuing your purpose with unwavering determination. Every step you take brings you closer to the fulfillment of your purpose. Until next time, live life with vision and purpose. Thank you for joining another episode of Vision and Purpose Podcast. Please share, like, and subscribe. Please join us every Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time.